global warming is occurring because of, in particular, because of changes in the gases which are going into the atmosphere, and the biggest changes, the biggest greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and methane. Human transport systems is a major factor. Energy usage for heating houses and air conditioning of houses is a major factor. And animals which are producing greenhouse gases are a factor. The main one is still carbon dioxide, because a lot of carbon dioxide is being produced in the course of transporting food around and producing food for animals. But also the animals themselves, if they are ruminants, are producing methane, and methane is a greenhouse gas. So that's having it's a minor effect, but it's still a very significant effect. And that's a very tricky area, because the animals which are producing the methane are eating something which humans can't eat. Ruminant animals like cattle and sheep are able to eat things like grass and other leaves which we can't eat. And that in the future is what we need, because we don't want to have animals which are eating the things which we can eat, like grain. So it's a waste for grain to be fed to animals when the people could eat the grain directly. So we want the ruminants, because they are particularly good at utilizing grass and other leaf material, but then there's a trade-off with their production of methane. There are many efforts to try and reduce the methane output, and that is being done, and but it is a significant area. We're also, of course, we want to have vegetarian fish rather than carnivorous fish, because they're eating something which we can't eat, and it's much more efficient to have vegetarian fish than carnivorous fish. If you feed fish to fish, you could have eaten the first fish. So global warming is changing the situation in particular areas. So there are places which formerly were used for forms of agriculture which are not possible. So there are places in the centre west of the USA, and in south central Brazil, and in southern Morocco, and in southeast Spain, where the climate change has occurred to such a degree that agriculture is having to change, and some of those agricultural changes are with farm animals. So if you can't grow enough, if you can't get enough food for the animals, and you can't get enough water for the animals in particular, then you can't keep them there. And so there are changes in what is happening to animals. In other areas there hasn't been a change. So in other areas the change hasn't occurred, but of course there are also changes because of things like hurricanes and typhoons. We're getting more intense hurricanes and typhoons than we did have, and that applies to East Asia, it applies to the east of North America. In several parts of the world there are changes occurring, and that means you can have more disasters where animals are affected.